Mr. Secretary. What made you change your mind on providing long-range ATACMS? Will they be included in the $1 billion package that was announced earlier this week? And since you talked about this will take time, has any of the aid from the $1 billion package actually reached Ukraine at this point? And then, Mr. Chairman, analysts are cautioning us that it will take a lot of time before we'll see the effects of this current aid on the battlefield. When do you think that Ukrainians will have the opportunity to again have the upper hand?
In terms of the provision of ATACMS, as you know, we had provided the Ukrainians ATACMS before. They come in various types with different ranges. And of course, there are mixtures of munitions here going forward. And I won't get specific in terms of what we provided and whether or not and when the Ukrainians will actually put those munitions to use. But the key point is they have the capability. Now, that capability alone is not a silver bullet. It's the integration of that capability with the other kinds of things like Storm Shadow and other things that other countries are providing that really then gives them a capability to conduct a long-range fires campaign. And so I think that's what's most important. But in terms of specifics of, how many and where, I'll let the Ukrainians speak to that.
If I may follow, officials had expressed before concerns that that the Ukraine may try to fire ATACMS into Russia, or that there weren't enough in U.S. stockpiles. Did either of those affect your decision to provide the long-range ATACMS?
Well, first of all, as you know, I always have a concern about the United States having the capability to defend itself and to also support our operational plans. And I can tell you that we are comfortable that we are in a good place, and we will remain in a good place. In 2 years' time, things change. More munitions are created, and that sort of business. So we are in a good place. We'll remain in a good place, and I think the capability that Ukraine will have is a good capability. So it's up to them on how and when to use it, and our hopes are that they'll create some pretty good effects with that and other things.
Well, to your question, I can't necessarily predict a timeline of where for the future of where the Ukrainians will have an upper hand, but we can shape the future. And that's exactly what this supplemental has been able to do, is to help shape the future. And I think you asked about how long will it have effect. I think there's some near-term effect, because now the Ukrainians don't necessarily have to ration what they have, because they know things are coming out of this package, and there will be follow-on packages because of the supplemental, which gives them a bit more flexibility and options to be able to execute. The one thing I would highlight to you, even during this time frame, the Russians have had incremental gains at tremendous cost in loss of personnel, loss of combat capability. And so I do see the Ukrainians with this additional support, not only from our supplemental, but as I've engaged with, matter of fact, engaged with a number of my counterparts this morning, they highlighted how important our supplemental was to actually help lead. And as I said in my opening remarks, leaders don't stand on the sidelines, and the fact that we step up and provide this supplemental helps to energize, and we saw some of that today as we engage with the counterparts in the UDCG.
And so the Russians have increased their production of artillery munitions and other things, but they're also being propped up by the likes of North Korea and Iran. And they had to go that direction because of the damage, to the chairman's point, the damage that the Ukrainians had inflicted on the land forces there. So I think, with the capabilities, the resources that will be provided, hopefully Ukraine will have the ability to not only hold its own, but regenerate additional capability and then create options for itself going forward.
We have time for just a few